Hello and welcome. This is Mark from MWP Art's Creative Journey, and I am part of the Art Sherpa design team. And the other members you can find in my description down below, and more frequently asked questions about the ATC Club also. So this video is going to be about ATCs, and it is for the theme of this month, and the theme was meaningful color. And you probably have already seen a couple other videos out there or what the reveal of the theme was. But today I am going to paint my colors that are meaningful to me, and I'll explain why. I am going to take away my face cam now and get started. So my colors that I am going to be using today and explain why: cad yellow and quin magenta. And those two colors together make a gorgeous orangey reddy color, and I can control the more orangey red color by adding one color or the other. And the meaning of that one is that I get into the fiery mode of creativity sometimes, and so this color represents the fiery mood I get of creativity. And then the blue and green, and I'll be also adding white to each of these also to make a more of a turquoise blue. Anyway, so that one represents a meaningful color to me of more of the calmness, the blue green of the calmness of when I'm creating. And so those two color combinations have a very meaningful relationship together of what I feel, and those colors mean a lot to me. So I am going to get started here now. I don't even have the colors down on my palette yet, so I will put a blob of each. So part of the design team, we all have different styles of painting or creating art on our ATCs, and each one of us are different and different parts of our journey. Some of us have been doing art all of our lives, some only 3 or 4 years. Today I am going to be creating a kind of a fantasy type daisy colors using those colors I mentioned, and I have already practiced once with it, so hopefully I can get something similar to this design. So there we go, and just lay down some color. It's going to be kind of an orangey color here. So I would love to see what everybody else is creating for this month's theme, meaningful color, and you can do it however you want to interpret that. It can be exactly what it means if you look it up in the dictionary or Google it, or you can do it as loose as you want with the word meaningful color. It can be dealing with a meaningful color, maybe just meaningful color of things you like to see that have color, the ocean or the sky, or when you go to the grocery store, maybe you like certain colors in the supermarket when you're in the produce department. Certain vegetables or fruits speak to you, or maybe it just when you go into the paint department and you're looking at the chips, the paint chips at the time. Maybe certain colors just speak to you and go ooh, and be creative and maybe use paint chips to create that meaningful color to you that you so enjoyed when you were looking at it. So I am just going to use this combination that I thought was so fun to play around with. It had a meaningful color to me, this fiery red-orange combination for my background, kind of just sky or wall or whatever you want to call it, because this might be in a vase, a real close-up of this flower in a vase. face, or it could just be with a nice sunset behind it, and you got down low and took the photo. But it's a fantasy flower, so don't, necessarily think that you're going to see one of these in the wild or out in the wilderness. But you might see one in nature. Who knows? Maybe this color is not so fantasy, and somebody might actually see it. But to me, I don't think I've seen the color I'm going to use for this flower. Okay, so that's coat number 1 for this background, and I will let it naturally dry while I paint my second section of it, the flower. And the flower is going to be more of that turquoisey blue color that I was talked about. And like I said, I'll be using I think to get the main color in, I'll be using a number 4 cat's tongue. Let's see if I can get that under there. Number 4 cat's tongue silver from the Art Sherpa. And I love this brush. It comes so handy. You can get the fine point of the cat's tongue detail, or you can kind of use it as a, like it is a filbert, but just to paint things down, especially on ATC size, it's small in the first place. Like I said, this is part of for the ATC club, this video, and I am part of the Art Sherpa design team, and we're all going to be creating something different. So now I'm going to create that turquoise color, which is the blue, and I'm using the phthalo green, so phthalo blue with green shade and phthalo green with blue shade, and mixing white in to get the right color for my mid-tone first, I think. And then later on I'll be using a number 4 Cambridge Bright, which is also from silver, that I will be dry brushing because it's got the natural and synthetic fibers together, which makes a nice way of streaking in color. But for now, I'm going to use the cat's tongue to get the underpayment in, underline paint in. And originally I put a piece of tape under my ATC here to hold it still, but I think it's already lost its grip because I wore it down too much already. I'm gonna have to use a different, just ever so slightly different mix of colors here to get it to show up a little better for each petal. The next petal next to it, let's get the petal that goes underneath. A petal, and I'm doing it right up against that orange, so I think after things dry a little bit, I'll be able to carefully maybe I'll put another piece of tape under here. And this paper I'm using for my ATC is I think it's just a watercolor paper. You can use anything you want for your ATC papers. You can use, cut out cereal boxes, acrylic canvas paper, cardstock, anything that's, heavy enough to paint on. And so, like I said, this is just some watercolor paper ATC. I think I physically just cut out the shape of it, the size of it, from a piece of watercolor paper. And you can, I like to have a watercolor paper that is made of mainly cotton, but there's other ones out there just as good for this. companies, they all make pretty decent. I mean, there's sometimes you'll run into paper from one company that you don't like as much as the other, but just experiment with them. You know, don't spend a whole bunch of money on something that you've heard isn't, you know, going to be creating what you want with it. You know, a lot of people just normally when they're painting acrylics, they paint on either a canvas sheet or acrylic boards or something, but be creative with your ideas of what this theme means to you, as you are always. I've seen so many people with some awesome ideas and very creative with what they do for their ATCs over the months that I've been part of the design team and member of the ATC group. Like I said, there's the paid version of $10 for 3 months, which comes to what, $333 a month. And that helps with the a lot of the international shipping, and it's going to add up a little bit. Okay, so let's see here what I'm going to do here. Okay, I think I will work on the center of the flower a little bit. And that I'm going to make it I think start off with a deeper red orangey color for the center. So maybe just pick up a little bit of that yellow into the quinacridone magenta. Just kind of make it a deeper reddy orangey for the center to start off with, and then I'll lightly put in the other lighter colors to get some highlights and maybe little flowery seed head things that show up in those. Maybe I'll stipple them in with the Cambridge brush in there, just to get that feel. So okay, so the brush is still a little tricky to get into the little corners of that flower without, but that's okay. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, so rinse out my brush again. Make sure I rinse out the brush if you're using acrylics, because they'll dry on that bristles, and you know, eventually you have to replace these kind of brushes, just because acrylics are you know, it dries. It's basically a plastic in a sense, and so it will damage your brush eventually over time. But if you can keep them clean with, you know, the proper cleaning soaps for brushes and warm water, and make sure and rinse them out real good between while you're painting. Okay, I'm going to get out this bristle brush now and work on more of the, I think more of the background this time. And this time I'll be getting some lighter colors in there now. So, get the brush wet again, there we go. And then dry it off, kind of just leave it damp. So I'm going to get more yellow this time, and just a little bit of that quinacridone magenta. And get the right look I want. Or maybe just a mix. Oh, good mix, okay. So now I'm going to do some hash kind of streaks, dry motions, dry streaky cross hatching with my brush, and get some the sun rays or something like that. So they can go back and forth at that angle, so that way maybe it looks like the sun rays are kind of popping through the sky towards the flower. Okay, so occasionally maybe throw in a little bit of the darker colors there, kind of lightly streak across. See if I can get some of that magenta with just a little bit of yellow in it. There we go. You see that still? Hopefully I'm not blocking my camera view of that too much. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. So I hope everybody's having a good day and been creating some gorgeous stuff lately. And remember that coming up soon, in less than a month, I think, what, 28 days away, is Acrylic April, which I will be trying my hardest to make it through all 30 days. And it should be a lot of fun. Yeah. I think there's going to be different ways of getting through it, you know, following Cinema's tutorials when she has tutorials on them. And I think she's going to try to keep them all on the smaller, you know, the not as long side, I guess. So that way. And I think there's gonna be rules like under 12 by 12, I think. So, you know, if you want to do 6 by 6, 8 by 8, even smaller. If you want to do all ATCs, that's great too. But, you know, keep it smaller, under 12 by 12. Be great. I'm gonna try to do mine. Maybe going back and forth between 6 by 6s or 8 by 8s, and I might even try to do several of them on watercolor paper. You know, if you're doing like the 300-pound watercolor paper or even the 140, as long as it's cotton and acid free, you don't have to gesso it. But I think if it's 140, and I probably will be gessoing it a little bit. Kind of gives a barrier so it doesn't, the color doesn't all, the pigment doesn't all soak into the paper first, which kind of can be, for me, an issue. I played with that a little bit and it works better for me to, I think, gesso it first. So I'm getting that first layer down there. I think I'll let that dry now again. I will work on maybe creating a border first. A real light border. Let's see. Maybe I will use a smaller brush. I got this round brush by the Sherpa, Art Sherpa. This is 0, and maybe I'll just kind of lightly put a green border just to get it to, so I can see those petals better separations. How this is going to look this way, but I'll give it a try. Kind of give it a border a little bit. Like I said, it's a fantasy impressionistic flower. I mean, you're not going to find too many like this in nature looking like this, but hey. See what it turns out to be. Ooh, I'm gonna get too thick on that end. I don't got a super steady hand, but I'm giving it a shot. Let's see here. There we go. That works pretty good. That just gives me an idea where each of the petals are. Okay, clean out that brush. I don't know if I'll be using that much more. Maybe I'll use it for putting stuff in the center of the flower, but for now, I'm going to work on the petals now. Let the back part dry, and it dries pretty quick. I don't even need a hair dryer. I think doing it directly on, you know, the watercolor paper like this, because I didn't test this paper, but it will handle it just fine. So get some of the cross patterns, and this is gonna be tricky because I'm using a bigger brush really for it's ATC, but we'll give it a try. Still in the picture here. Okay. Let's see, maybe in a slight diagonal. There we go. And now I'm going to dip into some darker colors also. And maybe do a cross pattern next to them or through them slightly. This is going to be a build-up procedure here. You know, I'll probably end up with a almost completely white highlight on top of everything, but for now, we'll see what this looks like. I'm enjoying just having fun and putting color down and exploring different different mediums on ATCs. I've tried gouache before. I've tried color pencil on ATCs, watercolor, and now I'm back to acrylics. You know, I'm enjoying acrylics. And now that the Acrylic April is getting closer, I think I'll be maybe getting some backgrounds, maybe gessoed on my watercolor papers, you know, or some background colors put onto some of my acrylic boards also to get them prepped and ready for the Acrylic April that's coming up. And when you do your Acrylic April in April, you know, just use the hashtag, and if you use Instagram or even on Facebook, whatever social media you want to do it in, hashtag Acrylic April 2019 or hashtag Acrylic April or hashtag, I think, oh, I'd have to look it up, but I think it was like hashtag, I'll put it in the description, but hashtag no joking April or something like that. I will put in the description the last hashtag also, and give you more of the information about that event that's coming up in April. I mean, you can probably check it out all over the Art Sherpa sites about Acrylic April coming up, and other design members might be talking about it too in the near future. So let's see, what have I done here? I'm going to let that dry a little bit more now and work on the center of the flower. I think I just need some to dabble some yellow into there first using my Cambridge brush. Maybe too much on there. Get it more off. I'm just going to pounce it on, I think, that center area there first. I don't want to cover up the red completely, so maybe I'll put some of that reddish orangey color back in too. There you go. Well, let that dry a little bit too. So now, let's see, what else can I work on? Maybe I can work on that background a little more again and get another layer of yellows in there. Lighter color again. And maybe go the opposite direction. I don't know. We'll see what that looks like. What do you think? Is that looking good? I'm enjoying the process. You know, like I said, make sure, leave me a comment. And if if you're already a subscriber, just hit the like bell. Like if you like it, or if you haven't hit the bell yet, click the bell. And yeah, just enjoy. And like I said, also I'm on the ATC Facebook group, and so if you're there, make sure and leave your ATC that you created using the theme of meaningful color on there. And if you're inspired by me to do something similar, let me know that you were inspired by me to do something similar with a flower or something like that, and choosing your colors and what they mean to you. Just have fun creating. Okay, so I think maybe a little more of the Quinn, darker, just a little bit of yellow. How's that looking? Ooh, that's looking pretty cool, I think. Maybe a little bit of yellow again in that corner there. Okay, and tap some more into there, center. Okay, I don't know how many more layers of the background I'm going to do, but I think what I'm going to do now is on the flower, work on some of the white or highlights. Not the highlights. For me, I love to maybe come up with an idea first and sketch it, or lately I've been using an iPad also occasionally, and Procreate, and sketching it out there too, and then put it on my ATC or practice on it. Another piece of paper that's like your mixed media paper or something like that, but in square off an area that's the shape of the ATC, and start thinking smaller and get your ideas down from it. But if you think you can just hop right on it and do it without practicing, great. But me, I need that practice first. Sometimes. Okay, there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just want to put a little bit of spots of highlight, maybe cross it over. Perfect. All right. So, what else here? So like I said, my meaningful colors were the bright orangey reds for fire, the fire of getting creative and thinking about being creative, and the turquoisey blue colors of the gentle mood I get into. Those colors just calm me down when I'm actually creating. So that's what this meaningful colors theme meant to me. But whatever it means to you, awesome sauce. Maybe describe what it meant to you when you share your photo on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And so take care, everyone out there. Put some color onto whatever product you want to put that color onto, especially in ATC. But we can be creative and put color on canvas or paper or something today, just to have fun and relax. And wow, this has been fun. So yeah, make sure and share this video with other people too, to let them know that there's people on creative journeys like me. And if they know somebody else that's on a creative journey and would think this would be fun for them to watch and inspire them to watch, share that video with them. And just go out and have a great day, people. And I really want to see your artwork too. So if you're part of the Art Sherpa ATC club on Facebook, share it there. And if you share your stuff on Instagram, maybe tag me on Instagram. I will have my Instagram page also in the description, so go check that out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I think I'm done. The only thing left to do is get it mailed out and make a second ATC. Who knows, it might be a video, but a lot of times my second video or ATC doesn't become a video. But hey, I'm so inspired that I really enjoyed the process and make another one, doing it with a camera. Then I will. But for now, please go out there and have fun and just put a little color on something, and just check out the other ATC design members, which will be in my description. And yeah, thanks for watching. And this has been Mark from MWP Art's Creative Journey, part of the design team of the Art Sherpa design team and part of the ATC club. So take care. Bye all.